I'm 45 years old and I've been investing for over 20 years. I've seen the stock market crash, recover, and hit new highs a few times over. And along the way, I've made mistakes, lost money, but I've also built real wealth. So today I want to share the 7 biggest lessons that I've learned about investing. Lessons that I wish I knew when I'd started. And if you're just starting or you've even been investing for a few years, these lessons could save you a lot of time, money, and stress. Over the years, I've noticed that most successful investors share the same habits and principles, whether they're beginners or they're seasoned pros. These lessons aren't complicated and they aren't about chasing the latest trends. They're about habits, mindsets, and understanding how to let your money grow steadily over time. I encourage you to stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll have a clearer framework for investing that actually works. Hi, I'm Greg Hardy, and welcome back to the channel, and thanks for being here. We cover all things personal finance, investing, and building a secure financial future. If you're serious about taking control of your money and learning something new every week, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. It really helps the channel and gets this information out to more people who need it. Now, before we jump into the lessons, I want to be real with you for a moment. Investing isn't always easy. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when the market drops, or when everyone around you seems to be making money faster than you are. That's exactly when real investors are made. If you stay calm, keep learning, trust the process, you're going to be miles ahead of most people who give up too soon. Lesson number 1, time in the market beats timing the market. When I first started investing, I honestly thought I could beat the market by buying low and selling high, jumping in and out just at the right moments. I would get nervous during a dip and sell, then watch from the sidelines as the market rebounded. Other times, I would chase a hot stock or trend only to see it crash shortly after. At the time, it felt like I was making smart, calculated moves, but in reality, I was leaving money on the table. One of the biggest lessons I learned came from looking back at my portfolio over the years. Studies show that missing just the 10 best days in the stock market over a decade can cut your returns by more than half. And here's the kicker. Those best days often happen right after market downturns, when fear is the strongest. If you're not invested during those moments, you miss out on huge gains. That's when it clicked for me. Trying to predict the perfect moment is a losing game. The real key to building wealth in the stock market is staying invested for the long term, through both the highs and the lows. It might feel boring, even frustrating at times. Consistency beats timing every single time. Lesson number 2, keep it simple. When I first began investing, I thought complexity meant success. I chased hot stocks, tried picking sectors, and even dabbled in options for a short time. Thought that if I could just figure out the perfect strategy, I'd get rich faster. What actually happened was the opposite. I spent hours analyzing stocks, switching positions, and tracking trends, only to see minimal gains and a lot of stress. I realized I was overcomplicating something that didn't need to be complicated. What I've learned over the years is that simple strategies work best. Broad index funds, low-cost ETFs, and consistent contributions have given me better long-term results than any complex trading strategy ever could. Investing doesn't have to be flashy to be effective. The simpler you keep it, the less likely you are to make emotional mistakes, chase trends, burn out. For me, simplicity isn't boring, it's freedom. It allows me to focus on the big picture and not get distracted by every market noise. Lesson number 3, the power of dollar cost averaging. One of the biggest game changers for me was realizing the power of dollar cost averaging. When I first started, I thought I needed a big lump sum to make a meaningful impact in the stock market. That wasn't true at all. By investing a fixed amount every month, regardless of whether the market was up or down, I slowly built a portfolio that grew steadily over time. This often happens in downturns when all you want to do is sell and cut your losses. But because I keep investing the same amount each month or close to it, I actually bought some of my best performing positions at prices far below their eventual highs. It's not flashy and it doesn't feel dramatic, but the math works. And small, repeated actions really add up over decades. Lesson number 4, dividends really matter. Early in my investing journey, I didn't pay much attention to dividends. I thought, why bother with a few extra dollars here and there when the stock price is what really matters? For years, I focused almost entirely on growth and ignored the power of reinvesting dividends. But over time, I realized dividends aren't just a small bonus. They're a critical part of long-term wealth building. Dividends provide a steady, predictable source of returns even when the stock market is volatile. For example, during market downturns, your stock might drop in price, but dividends keep coming. Reinvesting those dividends allows you to buy more shares, which then generates even more dividends in the future. Over decades, this compounding effect can be massive, sometimes making up a surprisingly large portion of your total returns. Now, I've seen this firsthand in my own portfolio. Some of my longest held positions have generated hundreds, if not thousands of dollars from dividends alone. Money I never had to touch, just reinvested it automatically. Those dividend payments often come during the times when you feel the least confident, like after a market drop, for example. They act like a reminder that investing isn't just about chasing stock price gains, it's about building steady, long-term wealth. Now, the big takeaway here is that dividends aren't glamorous, but they're powerful. If you want real wealth growth over time, don't overlook them. Reinvest them consistently and let compounding do the work for you. In the end, dividends reward patience more reliably than chasing the latest hot stock ever will. Lesson number 5, avoid emotional decisions. Now guys, this is one of the hardest lessons for any investor because it hits where we're most human, our emotions. I've been there myself, watching the market drop sharply and feeling that knot in my stomach. I remember during the early months of the COVID crash in 2020, it felt like everything was collapsing overnight. My first instinct was to sell everything and hide in cash, but I remembered the lessons I'd learned over the years about staying invested and keeping things simple. I took a deep breath and did nothing, and looking back, that decision saved me from a lot of regret. Emotions are a silent wealth killer. Fear makes you sell at the worst possible time. Greed makes you chase the next hot stock and buy at peak prices. Over the decades, these emotional mistakes can shave off huge chunks of your returns. The key is discipline. Plan your strategy and stick to it, no matter what the headlines say or how you feel in the moment. Learning to manage your emotions isn't optional. It's just as important as understanding stocks, ETFs, or dividends. The calmer and more patient you are, the better your results will be in the long run. Lesson number 6, costs and fees matter more than you think. Now, when I first started investing, I didn't think much about fees. A 1% fee on a fund or ETF seemed tiny, almost negligible. I thought it's just a small cost to get professional management. But over decades, that 1% adds up in a way that's hard to ignore. It literally can cost you hundreds or thousands of dollars over time. Once I switched to low-cost index funds and ETFs, I noticed an immediate difference. My returns started improving without me doing anything differently, just paying less to the middleman. Now, I know it's not exciting to talk about fees, but they are one of the biggest silent killers of your wealth. Every dollar you save on fees stays invested, earns compounding interest, and grows quietly over decades. High-cost investments might promise fancy strategies, but in practice, low-cost diversified investments outperform most of them over the long run. Once I truly understood this, it changed how I invested. I realized I didn't need fancy tricks to grow wealth. I just needed to minimize costs and stay consistent. Lesson number 7, investing is about patience, not perfection. Finally, the lesson I wish I'd learned first. Investing is about patience, not perfection. Early on, I spent countless hours researching stocks, trying to find the next big winner or the perfect time to buy one. I convinced myself that I had to pick the right stock or sector to succeed. But over time, I realized that obsessing over perfection was holding me back. Markets are unpredictable, and no one can consistently pick the top performing stocks every year. Now, my focus is on broad diversification, steady contributions, and letting time do its work. I've learned that wealth doesn't come from trying to outsmart the market. It comes from staying invested, being patient, and not sweating the small stuff. Even when the market dips or a stock underperforms, patience allows your portfolio to recover and grow. Looking back, I see that slow, steady progress beats chasing perfection. The real advantage comes from sticking with a solid plan and giving your investments time to compound. Looking back on my investing journey, the biggest realization isn't about which stock I picked or which ETF outperformed. It's about how I approached investing as a habit and as a mindset. If I could go back and talk to my younger self, I'd tell him to focus less on trying to beat the market and more on building good habits early. Every dollar invested, every mistake learned from, and every year of patience adds up. The earlier you start treating investing like a long-term relationship instead of a quick win, the more freedom and peace of mind you'll have later on in life. Success doesn't come from luck, timing, or chasing the next hot trend. It comes from consistency, patience, and sticking to a plan even when the market feels scary or unpredictable. Small, disciplined actions we take over years, investing regularly, keeping costs low, reinvesting dividends, and avoiding emotional decisions, compound into real wealth in ways that often feel invisible in the moment. Another important thing that I've learned is that investing is as much about self-discipline as it is about money. Your portfolio reflects your habits, your mindset, and how well you can stay calm when others are panicking. The lessons I've shared aren't just strategies, they're principles that, if followed over time, can help you grow wealth while avoiding the stress and mistakes that trap so many investors. My hope hope is that by applying even just a few of these lessons today, you can save yourself years of trial and error and build financial security that truly compounds over time. Finally, investing isn't about perfection or trying to control the uncontrollable. It's about showing up consistently, learning along the way, and trusting that steady, patient actions wins in the long run. There's one piece of advice I could give anyone watching. It's this: start today, stay consistent, and give time the chance to work its magic. The sooner you embrace these principles, the more powerful they become, and the more confident you'll feel about your financial future. If you found this video eye-opening, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who you think needs to hear it. And if you want more practical, no-nonsense advice on building wealth and securing your financial future, then check out this video here. And also, please make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.